Okay, so I'm preparing to go on my trip pretty much for tomorrow morning, and one of the videos I want to cover is something pretty important that I think is going to become more prevalent when I release this video, probably in 2 days. Actually tomorrow night, I think. And this is going to be on the topic of Kloss and why she might be one of the top target summon pickups, right? Now, why I think so is because of what she's able to do in most modes, besides obviously Aurora, because remember, debuffers type disadvantage have 50% less effect accuracy. So as debuffers, you are severely nerfed when you're type disadvantage. So of course not good in Aurora, but she's going to be very good in both Terramaton and Doki Doki long term for you guys to actually cook. I've been able to build Kloss up and gonna start getting Kloss more up, but we're gonna talk about why she's good. And I actually want to switch to Pride one because I think that Pride one has it shown pretty well, and then we'll come back in and kind of regroup. Of course, before everything, like the video if you haven't yet, and of course, sub for more because I will be making a lot of Etheria content, bro. I made like 6 videos today alone. Oh my god. Preparing for a trip is rough. Now, what is Kloss basically surrounding herself with? It's basically debuffs, and mainly 2 debuffs. So there's hacking progress and hack in. So let's explain what both of them do and then how she's going to apply all of it. So for hacking progress, each stack increases damage taken by 5%, reduces damage dealt by an additional 10%, up to a maximum of 3 stacks. Really good. Now, when there is 3 stacks, Kloss consumes all stacks at the end of her turn and is guaranteed to inflict the target with a 2-turn hack-in. All right, really, really good. So you're going to get to this 3 stacks pretty easily, but in total, if you have 2, for example, you're going to get 10% damage taken increase and then 20% damage reduction on the enemy, right? But when there's 3 stacks, and then you could continue with all that shit, it's going to be a 25% damage increase taken, and they're going to do 40% less damage, right? So 40% less damage. Sorry, I'm going to go in here because I realize my camera's covering it. So you're actually going to have, you're gonna like be taking less damage because in total it's gonna be 35%, but then you're also gonna be making the enemy take more damage, right? Now, why is that really good? Well, let's talk about it. Well, we're gonna start with the skill 2 first. So what this does, I think now I could open this. Yeah, you could see it just fine. So what this is going to do, there's a chance to put a hacking progress, and that's AoE. Now, there's also an 80% chance to steal the turn meter of the target and redistribute it to all teammates. Now, this is really good. Even more so, the stealing amount increases by 10%. So that's really good. Now, it doesn't say how much you're stealing the turn meter, unless I'm tweaking. I don't think it even says it. Yeah, I guess it just doesn't say it, all right. Cool, but I could definitely confirm that it is actually very big. The turn meter steal is really good, especially when it goes AoE to everyone. It's really strong. Now, why this damage increase, the 25% is really big, is because your ult puts defense minus and speed minus, right? So this defense minus, when you combo that with a damage increase of 25%, it's really strong. Now, why you could maybe see some use out of it is you're gonna have the damage increase from Kloss on her hack in, you're gonna have the defense lower, and then what if it's with someone like Kloss on his skill 2 chain lock, is going to increase the target by 25%, the damage they take, and then of course his ult's going to be boom 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 boom. So that's 25%, and then Kloss another 25, and then the defense lower. So when you start stacking all these things together, it gets really, really high, which is why Kloss is so good when she works with units like that. And like even for someone like Rosa, right, on her skill, well, when she applies the Blade Heart Bloom, that's going to increase the damage on basic attacks, and that's going to be able to, unless I'm wrong, please correct me, but it should stack, right? Which is why Kloss is really good. Now, the speed minus being just outright is also very strong. The only thing is it's a 4-turn cooldown, which is a bit unfortunate, but it is guaranteed speed and defense lower, right? So let's say you have Codex, right? Or let's say you have Lily to actually reduce Kloss, then it could be really good where you just keep on applying the speed minus when you're every 2 turns, and that could be really, really strong, right? For sure, really, really strong. Now, then you're also able to apply 2 stacks of hacking progress to the main target and then 1 to the rest, because this is AoE. It's an AoE defense and speed lower, so that's going to make her really, really strong, okay? Because you're able to speed minus, defense lower, damage increase, damage lower, and then also steal turn meter. So all that from 1 unit, and it's going to work very well in Terramaton with Kloss, and also in well, I mean, what's it called? Sorry, in Doki Doki, right? You're going to be using a lot of different units to really increase that damage, and that's going to be really, really good. So do keep that in mind. Like, this is her base kit. But now let's really get into it. All right, am I done, I guess? Wow, nothing. That's crazy. So Obviously, like, Fur Threshold is going to be her main area, so she's going to be really good in Terror, okay? Really good in Terror. I mean, maybe we'll see some Klosses. I always love checking this just to see if I'm right or not, but Kloss is going to be used, right? She's definitely one of the better picks, I would say. However, I'd say a lot of people are using Shadow Sanya, but I do not think you guys fall into that category. So, like, if you're using a Kloss special, sorry, Kloros, the names are so similar. Kloss, Kloros, Mia, Mio. Like, what are we doing? So, if you're using Kloros, it's going to be really good with Kloss because of the double damage increases, of course. And then being able to steal the turn meter is really strong for Termaton. So that's the number one thing, especially once you're getting to health 4. Dude, you speed lower, defense lower, you steal turn meter, you're going to make them take more damage and do less damage. A big one's doing less damage. You guys know for sure. Termaton, right, is going to be doing a lot of fucking damage. So being able to lower that damage is huge. And then in Doki Doki, even more so, right? Now, also, I guess we could say in the Termaton, you're going to run Freya, and Freya's going to give a damage increase, and that's going to go very well alongside Kloros' damage, well, attack increase from Freya, then Kloros' damage increase, and then, of course, Kloss' damage increase and defense lower, all going to kind of go in together to where your damage is going to be severely increased, right? And then in Doki Doki, of course, because it's AoE, right, there's 4 or 5, you speed lower, you defense lower, you really want to one-tap, especially with Romocha. The biggest thing is one-tapping, and Kloss is going to allow you to one-tap, especially if you're running like Valerian or Kazuyo, right? It's going to be very, very strong. Valerian's more so going to be for sustain, right? All in all, it's going to be mainly sustain. However, you will have the damage increase from the slumber and then also the defense lower, right? So all these things together, attack increase, damage increase, more so basic stats. But also this could give you the attack increase when Freya's isn't up, and then Kloss, defense, speed, right? So it's all going to go very well in unison. And then also very good with someone like Marvel, right? Just to make sure all the debuffs apply. So it's like all these things to where Kloss is going to be really good in Doki and also in Terror. So you really want someone like, you don't want only one person unless it's like the main DPS, right? You don't want to pick a unit that's only going to be good in one mode, right? So if you're picking Freya, right, the main reason is Terror and Doki, and then of course every other general content. Kloss, same shit. So Kloss, if you still haven't used your target and you have main DPSs for Terror being either Kloros, Lian may work, but it's really Kloros or Messiah, and then Doki, it's going to be mainly Romocha. Also, to be fair, Shadow Sanya, and I think the Ting works, the Ting, right? So keep that in mind, all those units, right? But if you're fine, then, you know, obviously go for Kloss. Bro, Kloros and Kloss, I'm going to mix them up so much. Now, besides that, we also have to keep in mind, she's going to be really good for PvP, like, really fucking good. If we check the stats, right, I just want to show. Look at her speed. She has the highest speed in the game, so keep that in mind, right? If we check it out, I think it's her skill 1. So she's going to get 15 speed there. So it's very huge to consider, right? That she is going to be quite strong when you consider that. Because she is deadass, like, going to be at an insane speed level, 143. If she goes first, like, she puts the speed minus, defense lowered, right? All these things. Even if the DPS goes on the enemy team, the damage is going to be lowered. But, yeah, no, in general, with the speed minus, you're going to be able to get your other units, your other support, if you're running another support up there, which is very, very strong. But at the bare minimum, on the DPSs that don't have bulwark long-term, Kloss is going to be great. So I think Kloss is definitely one of the finer options for a lot of content. She's going to be good in Doki. She's going to be good in Terror. She's going to be good in most PvE content. Going to be good in Union Boss because defense and damage increase and damage lower on the enemy, like, it's so strong. And then PvP also really good. So overall, one of the best picks. I've already been like glazing Kloss, but I think that now, especially since we're going towards Hell, Kloss is going to be one of the more shining units in this current, like, it would be like day 5 to like day 8 meta. So yeah, keep it in mind. Kloss is going to be very good for a good while, I would say. Not a bad pickup, but let me know if you end up maybe choosing her for target or building her because you already had her but didn't know if she was worth it. But she is definitely worth it. With that, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching this video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.